XRP is going to go to $100, $1,000, $10,000. Some people have even made the claim of $100,000 per XRP. And listen, it doesn't take much to make these claims. Anyone can make a video saying, oh, I think XRP is going to go to $1 million per coin. And, most people will just say, no, it's definitely not going to because of X and Y and Z. Mainly it's, market cap. But again, these people don't care huge way and cause multiplier effects on the value of XRP that could take it to $100, if not more. So let's start off with the performance of XRP so far in the last 12 months. The main thing that we have been talking about with XRP is just how significant it has been in the last 12 months. Up 400+% in the last year. We have been outperforming Bitcoin on the last year as well. And it's not just Bitcoin, right? We've been outperforming almost everything. It's been Bitcoin, it's been Ethereum, it's been Solana. Almost everything has been outperformed by XRP in the top 100 in the last year. And I don't think that this is going to really stop. I think that XRP is going to go much higher, and I think that it's going to outperform a lot of things and really kind of shock a lot of people because everyone is still dead set and still focused on that 2021 timeframe where XRP didn't do much. It didn't outperform many. And again, I hate when people compare XRP back in 2021 to today's XRP because it's so different. It's a completely different environment. Back in 2021, XRP was basically kneecapped by the SEC. The best way that I look at it is that the SEC was essentially the mob and it shook down XRP holders by breaking the legs of XRP. We had to suffer the worst bull run in history because of XRP just not doing anything because of what the SEC did. I'm not holding that against XRP. It was never XRP's fault for it not performing. It was the environment that we had to endure. It was a terrible time. And when we think about that, right, it was delisted from all of these major exchanges. Today, XRP is back on every single major exchange that it got delisted on. So again, today's XRP is completely different. But one thing that almost everyone looks back on is the 2017-2018 cycle of XRP. That 65,000% push to the upside. And again, everyone still thinks that we could do the same exact thing now. But the problem is that most people that are trying to generate clicks or engagement just do this. They grab the bars chart and they say, oh, look, XRP is following this perfectly. And they usually do something like this. And they just kind of share with everyone like, oh, look at this is exactly what we're doing. Where, we go to $160 this cycle. Or they'll just grab a specific part of XRP, which is very similar to this, by the way. I would argue that we're kind of trading in a very similar fashion to this. So I wouldn't even say that this is not, possible, especially considering the fact that this would take us to about $19. This is definitely possible. However, we can't just throw bars graphs on the chart and say, yeah, we're going to do this, perfectly. No, it never works out that way. But I will say this. Where can XRP go this cycle? Well, we mainly look at the ETFs, right? Because ETFs are a big deciding factor of how high XRP can go because it is a major catalyst that we are waiting on. But also, I just feel like if we're going off of the previous times in this market where XRP has performed, we go back to 2017, 2018, and we kind of come up with the assumption that XRP can easily hit $10 to $15 this cycle. But that's not why we're here. We're here talking about the future value of XRP. Can it go to $100? Can it go to $1,000? Well, it's all determined by supply and demand. Today, we know that the DeFi side of the XRP ledger is starting to wake up. This was basically dead up until the point where we started to see DeFi become a reality on the XRP ledger. And this started back in 2024. Today, we're sitting at about $101 million in TVL value. Not that significant for a project that does have a market cap of over $179 billion. However, we have to start somewhere. And this is, a pretty good start, especially considering the fact that the DeFi side of XRP is still kind of early, right? But this is just the beginning. I still think that the XRP ledger is going to have billions and billions and billions of dollars tied to DeFi. And at some point in time, with everything happening around the XRP ledger, trillions of dollars as well. But it's not just about DeFi, it's also tokenization and stablecoin value. Right now, RWA value almost $356 million, up 9+% in the last 30 days. Stablecoin market has been kind of floating around $200 some million for a bit of time, but this value continues to rise. And again, we're still at the starting point. I just said in a video recently that this value will, 10x, it will 100x, it will even 1000x from where we're at now, because again, tokenization is only going to become larger and larger and larger, especially with more institutional players diving on into the space. Now, on top of this, I made a post regarding everything with XRP. I wanted to really go in depth on this just to explain to everyone the current market dynamic around XRP. Because the thing that we're looking at with XRP is a supply shock. A supply shock will lead to a high-priced XRP. But the problem is that majority of people in this space still think that a supply shock can't happen unless the total coin supply is minuscule. This is the same argument around Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin will experience a supply shock because there's only 21 million Bitcoin. But XRP, there's absolutely no way XRP can have a supply shock because there's 99+ billion XRP out there. And I even said this. I said this is why when we talk about an XRP supply shock, most laugh. They think that because there is 99 billion plus XRP, that there will never be a supply shock. But let's break this down. We currently have 8 companies now creating XRP-based treasuries. This is confirmation that confidence behind XRP as a legitimate traditional investment is growing. These companies see it as a safe, long-term hold to sustain value growth. We have all of the companies here. Trident Digital Tech Holdings, $500 million XRP treasury plan, partnered with Chain Securities as well. Vivo Power International, 100 to 121 million XRP treasury, also involved in yield generation via Flare. Weebus International Limited, $300 million XRP reserve strategy, still in development and planning, but still, again, $300 million. Logistics Health, 50 million XRP treasury, focus on instant payment infrastructure. Nature's Miracle Holding Inc., 20 million XRP reserve, agri-tech company using XRP as treasury asset. Hyperscale Data, 10 million XRP commitment exploring long-term treasury strategies. Worksport Ltd, 5 million XRP reserve plan. Initially entered with 6-figure buys. And then last but not least, Everything Blockchain, XRP 5 framework participant via Flare, exact amount not disclosed. Now, on top of this, we also have 16 spot ETFs awaiting approval. Here they all are. So now we have 16 spot ETFs awaiting approval, 8 companies that are now public with XRP treasuries. I mean, just these 2 alone are extremely significant catalysts that will impact the supply greatly. Now, when we combine this with institutional DeFi plus lockups, XRP being locked in liquidity pools, utility demand rising significantly around cross-border payments used to settle tokenized RWAs, currently right now, 356 million, very good starting point. Bridge currency for stablecoins, interbank settlement, retail use cases behind NFTs, gaming, DeFi, and more. I didn't even mention the trading of XRP from institutional, retail, and enterprise-based investors. When we think about all of these factors, it's very clear that demand around XRP is only going to continue to rise. With regulatory shifts happening to reinforce XRP's position and with increased adoption and acceptance of crypto, we could soon experience supply shocks on XRP and many other utility-based crypto assets. If this all works out properly, the price of XRP can and will be valued above $50+, and that's being conservative. Many will laugh or say that's insane or it will never happen. We just watched Bitcoin cross $2 trillion with not even close to the amount of utility XRP has or the efficiencies of the XRP ledger. People underestimate the value of utility because the entire space has been operating under the shadows of Bitcoin since inception. And none of the value in this space is tied back to utility. A new age of crypto is approaching and most will be silenced by what's coming. Lock in. And yeah, this is exactly why I believe that an XRP supply shock is inevitable. It might not happen tomorrow, it might not happen next week or next month or maybe even next year, but it will happen because we already see the signs of this space changing. And yes, institutional DeFi is 100% a focus from Ripple's side. We have for institutional DeFi to scale, it needs compliance-ready interoperable infrastructure. The XRP ledger delivers with AMM, tokenized real-world assets, and DID. They have a full breakdown of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger. What's next? We already have what's live on the XRP ledger and what's coming to the XRP ledger to support institutional DeFi. The use cases is all based around RWA, as well as cross-chain interoperability and institutional grade risk management around even derivatives, which are quadrillions of dollars. And again, this is only going to continue to evolve more and more and more. We constantly are seeing more things getting added to the XRP ledger, like for an example, the permission DEX, which by the way, that just got announced back in June. This was unlocking institutional access to DeFi because institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger is going to happen. When we think about what's going on here, this is all to bring in the largest use cases onto the XRP ledger, like for an example, FX swaps. The FX market is a $7.5 trillion per day market. They want to utilize stablecoins to disrupt the FX market and also bring on fiat FX swaps to the chain. Then you also have contractor and payroll payouts. Then you also have cross-border B2B payments and corporate treasury. Guys, these are just some of the use cases that could be tapped in here for the XRP ledger. And then also we have the institutional DeFi portal from Ripple. Oh wait, I thought Ripple didn't care about XRP or the XRP ledger. They just like to sell XRP. This is in development right now, a platform to help financial institutions bring their businesses on-chain powered by XRP and the XRP ledger. Discover blockchain use cases that deliver value to your business, tokenize assets, enable XRP deposits, allow XRP trading, effortless asset issuance, ready for production deployment. This is utilizing the EVM to the XRP ledger converter tools so that you can deploy faster, securely, and at scale. And again, you have the full platform at the ready. This is institutional players tapping into the full infrastructure. This is all with XRP and the XRPL. And then if we're thinking about what's been happening over the last couple months, we just saw Ripple add BBVA to the Ripple custody platform. Again, a lot of people will say, oh, well, the Ripple custody platform doesn't matter. That's all just based around Ripple. It's very good for Ripple, great for them. But if you go to Ripple custody, and I've talked about this on multiple occasions, these players are not just tapping into Ripple custody. They're also tapping into tokenization. And when we think about tokenization, you're tapping into the XRP ledger and XRP. And then also cross-border payments, right? This is with Thunes. Cross-border payments. Let's go back to institutional DeFi with the XRP ledger. What did they say? What use cases? Let me go back in here. I kind of forgot, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Cross-border payments. They are fully locked in with cross-border payments even on the XRP ledger. They've always been. Even when it comes to stablecoins, if you're locked in with stablecoins for cross-border payments, you're locked in using stablecoins with the XRP ledger. Because even here, we have stablecoin and fiat FX swaps, convert USD to RLUSD, send it abroad, and convert it to local currency via the permission DEX on the XRP ledger. And then also we think about RLUSD, right? SBI is bringing RLUSD to Japan in early 2026. They also announced the Africa expansion with RLUSD. All of this is for enterprise use cases built on the XRP ledger. And I didn't even mention the EVM sidechain, which also brought, the XRP world to all of these other blockchains. 80 plus blockchains connected via Axelar, all based around DeFi, stablecoins, RWAs. When we're thinking about all of this, guys, 2025 has been the year where expansions around the XRP ledger and XRP have been just on fire. Which takes me back to my post where I was talking about all of these things happening all at once for XRP, creating significant demand, leading to the supply of 99 plus billion not mattering at all. Like, it does not matter. All right. It doesn't matter if there was 200 billion XRP. All of this demand, all of these use cases, once we see these things, scale, it's game over. XRP will experience a supply shock. The value of XRP will be $50, $100+ dollars.